Welcome to the channel, guys. This is Robin Elliott with Elliott Motorsports, and today I'm going to go over all the functions and features of the Gen 5 or the 5th Gen Camaro instrument cluster. Now this fits anywhere from 2010 to 2015. We're going to kind of go over some of the things, that work and some things that don't work on certain years and stuff. So I'll kind of go over that real quick. Trying to hold my camera just as steady as I can. So I have a 2014. This is a 2LT with the heads-up display and everything. So the first thing I'm going to show you, just because so many people have asked this, it is changing the metrics from either miles per hour to kilometers per hour, and vice versa. So what you want to do, you want to find your system settings, and then you go to factory, and then you're going to put in, you're going to press and hold, and then it's going to go move over one. So it's 0, and then press 1, and then press and hold, and then you type, and then 6, press and hold, and then 9, press and hold. Okay, so it's factory setting is 0169. So what you're going to do is go in here to the settings, and you'll see there's a few things here. We'll go over front door replacement, rear door replacement. I'm not sure what those are. Those are set to not. This is kind of a UI that is used for other cars, so some of these features don't work on this car. So the ACC is disabled. Tire pressure is enabled because this does read the tire pressure. Angle sensor is enabled because it reads the angle sensor, and that which helps also when you reverse it moves the lines. Torque split doesn't pertain to this. Startup enabled. Now that is I believe the boot up or that I haven't played around with it immensely, but or when you start up, it resets the trip meter. There's a few things, and I'll go over that too. So reset enabled, which is kind of the same thing. Refueling enabled. So I think this is all in that trip. So whenever you start the car, it resets all this stuff. And then there's one that keeps track of everything. Intelligent idling, that doesn't pertain to this. And now here is the metrics. So this Imperial is for the US for miles per hour and for Fahrenheit. And then when you press and go into that, then you hit metric, and then it goes to the kilometers per hour. And now you'll see that the temp did change, so I'm not sure. Metric. There might be another setting here we'll get to. The clock is enabled. That shows the time up above. 24-hour format, I have it disabled. Outdoor temp enabled. You could shut that off. I have it enabled. Oh, here it is. The temp unit. So you go to Celsius to Fahrenheit. So I thought that was there. Doors info enabled. So when you open the door, it's going to tell you which doors open. Now on the 2014 and 2015, that does not work. Some coding's different. They're trying to update and figure that out. They just haven't so far. So tank position on the right, you could switch them. So obviously these are on the right. Reversing sound enabled. Hide water and oil, that's on. Some of them already have a gauge, so you could actually shut those off, but obviously I like to have the actually it's water and fuel. I don't know why they have it labeled oil, but it's fueled. It's actually the temperature and the fuel. So we'll go ahead and return. That's in the factory settings. Now let's go. Let's see. Let's get out. So you're gonna see this little car here. Now anybody with a 2010 to 2013, when you open the doors, it'll show what doors open, the hoods open, etc. But just in the 2014, 2015s, it does not do that. Also in the 2014, 2015, like I have the heads-up display, and let's see if I could get it to show here on the screen. You kind of see it there. Now, the RPMs work, but when you shift it into gear and manually shift it and all that, it shows, but the miles per hour doesn't work. Hopefully they'll figure that out, but as of now, it does not work. Also now, but it does in the 2010 to 2013s, or if it's equipped in those years. I can't remember if they even have. I think some of the 12s, maybe 13s, have the HUD. So let's see, and there's a G meter there. I know it does not work, so that's dead. There's miles per hour. So the only thing you have is like your gear and your RPM. Now this is an automatic, so I have there's a setting. So if you have a manual, I'm going to look it up here real quick shortly and tell you what it is. But you go into the factory settings, and you put a code in, and it'll switch it to manual. So what it does, it removes the park, and so when you're in your drive and stuff, it won't say that. It just removes it. So okay, so let's start with the trip up here. So the trip, you have your distance. That's going to be your total, your odometer, and then trip A, trip B, and you could reset those by pressing and holding. Startup, distance, time from start, fuel, and then let's see, from reset. Oh, you can see it's stuck on kilometer. I have to change that back to miles. I might have to shut it off and turn it back on. And then from refueling, I usually run this one right here. So, and then an eco, it's kind of cool. It kind of just tells how you're driving and stuff. So tells if you've been on the foot, braking hard, and all this and that. So that's kind of some neat information. It reads from the ECU. Okay, I was able to reset the. I just shut off the engine and turned it back on, and the metrics all went back to the way they were, so it's good. So anyhow, after that, let's start from, we got the trips. Then there's real-time info. So you're going to see you've got your voltage, battery voltage, your miles per gallon, your transmission temp, your oil pressure, and also the distance left on your fuel tank based on your driving habit. So as you go on the interstate, that's going to increase, and you'll see over here on the speedometer, or on the fuel gauge, it also gives you how much more gas you have left. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's get out of that. Information. This is going to be your tire pressure. Now you're going to see that it says, it reads in kPa. So you need to press and hold, press and hold, press and hold, and it cycles through all the different metrics until you get to PSI. Now one thing that we're working on an update for this, it's a very simple thing. When you shut the car off and turn it back on, it does default back to kPa for some reason, so you have to reset it. But the as far as the PSI and everything, it does work and everything. Tire angle, it's kind of, it senses the turning of your front tires, and then also when you turn your front wheels, like on the aftermarket Android head unit, the lines will actually move also. So that's what that is. So it's kind of cool. It's got an input for that. So you get out of that. Service information, you have your oil filter, front brake, inspection, brake fluid, rear brake, filter, spark plug, and then you could customize one. So like right now I did an oil change, and so I entered in, let's see, I'm going to get off a reset so I don't reset it. So I set it, so like I think it 6,000 or 210, it's 6,000 miles or something like that. But anyhow, so I have 3,965 miles left on my oil change, and once it gets close, it'll send a reminder, which is really cool. It'll say it's time for an oil change, time for brakes. So you could set, and I just put brand new brakes on. So I set it to like 37,000 miles. I think default, it's kind of a weird default. It's like 37,260. Everything has 260 on it, but you could change that. You could change that. You could also set it by a date too. If you don't want miles, you could set it by date. So either miles or date, whichever comes first. So that's really a neat feature on here. So we'll get out of that. We'll go back to system settings. Yes, let's go to system settings. Here's your themes. So right now I am in touring. Then you have your track mode, and then your sport mode. So whatever information is in the center right here will be on the left in sport and track, and you're always going to have the car on the right. Okay, and you could change the color of that car. We'll go through that in a minute. Date and time, you have to manually set the date and time. It doesn't sync with the head unit, so you manually do that. Then you have your language, and then generic and factory. Let me go back up to theme, and we'll go back to touring here. Go to return. And so just so you know, we're using the stock here. Presses enter, or you hit your reset button and then twist it to go up and down. So I guess I didn't explain that. Let's see, let's go to generic. Okay, in generic, you have your daytime brightness, and then you can set your night brightness. So I have my night brightness set to 10%. Color, that's going to be the different color of your car. There's red, white, blue, yellow, space gray. I have mine to space gray. Driving mode, this is really cool. So I have mine set to comfort, and all this is changing colors. So you can have a blue, an autos, I don't know why it goes. Red is Sport Plus, and comfort's kind of a orange color, which I like. That's my. There's a speed warning. So when you reach, you could set it so when you reach past a certain miles per hour. So I have mine set at 89. So whenever I reach that speed, an alarm goes off. Now to adjust the speed, you have to have the speed warning on. So that's just a tidbit. That's kind of a neat feature. Okay, so the factory here, the factory code, you're going to go 0, and then you're going to, 0, press and hold, 1, press and hold, toggle to 6 using the end of the button, press and hold, go to 9. So 0169, then press and hold to go to OK. So this is going to be where you, I already showed you where to change the metric and stuff, so we don't have to go through all that again. Just kind of a recap. 0169. Then you have your version. So when we do updates and stuff, we'll ask for the current version you have. That's where you find that. And you don't use the upgrade. It says upgrade, but you won't use it because when I send you a file, you just plug it into your USB cord, which you run underneath your dash here, so for easy access. They will automatically load, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else we have here. Return. I think that is going through, we've gone through all of the system. So that's pretty much everything. I love the center here. You know, having my stuff displayed. I always go from startup. That's just my person, so I get everything fresh every time I start it up. You'll see you have your odometer down there, and I will get the code here. I'm going to show you how to change, if you have a manual, the code and everything to change that. Okay, to change, if you have a manual transmission, to get rid of the park and the P and everything and the drive and all that, what you do, you go to factory and you type in 0181 and then hit OK, and that'll cause the drive to disappear. So now it doesn't tell you what gear you're in or anything like that, because I don't think the factory one does. You might prove me wrong. You can comment below if I'm wrong. So that's how you do it to manual. So a manual transmission, so you don't have the drive and the park and all that stuff there. So I think that's just about it. This has all the warning sign lights. It's you know, when it has everything that your regular cluster has and way more. So if you have any questions, you could comment below, or you could shoot me an email at caymanspyder@gmail.com. These are for sale, and I have these and the silver and the carbon fiber, and I try and keep these on hand at all time for fast shipping. You could go to my eBay stores. I have Elliott's Outlet and Elliott's Motorsports 308. Also, you could go to my website, which is www.elliottmotorsports.biz. All right, thanks so much.